What is up, guys? Steve here. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you guys all for the subscriptions. I can't even say it. Subscriptions, the love, all that stuff. You guys are awesome. So glad I'm able to help out so many of you guys so far with all this stuff in your Turo journey. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm all about how to make your rental fleet run as smoothly as possible. I mainly deal with Turo, and Turo's kind of the one that's just more up to par with everything. There's tons of other platforms out there. There's HireCar, Get Around, Avail, all these other platforms, and they do very well. So it's just a matter of picking your poison and going after it. A little bit about me, my background. I started this with a few buddies of mine in a different state. We did it very well. We were up to quite a few cars. I mean, a little over 50 cars at one point. And now that I'm out here in a different state, I just ventured off on my own, started doing all this stuff, documenting it, showing you guys what's up and how to make it run as smoothly as possible. So that's a little bit about me, but let's get into the topic today of, are you ready for it? Are you ready to do the rental car stuff? And if you are, and you actually want some help, check the description below. I got a course, I got ways to get a hold of me, whatever you guys need, check down below. I want to make this all as profitable as possible for you guys. So without further ado, let's really jump into it this time. Okay, so if you guys are new to this whole rental car thing, period, Turo is a platform that we use. It's the main one that I use, where you can rent out your car. Airbnb for cars, you put it on there, your car is covered by Liberty Mutual while it's on the platform on a rental, and then obviously you have to maintain insurance on your cars for when it's not on a rental. So that way if something happens for you delivering it, bringing it home, taking it to the body shop, taking it to the mechanic, or something happens in the parking lot, it's still covered from your insurance. Turo does cover it with the insurance. There's different plans you can pick out. You guys know, but that's basically what it is. It's a way for you to rent out your car, and majority of the costs are taken care of for you. All the back end stuff, the finding the customers, that's all taken care of. So you just sit back and you just supply a product, and the product is your car. So that in a nutshell is what these platforms are. It's basically a way for you guys to use your assets and make money off of it, side hustle, side gig, or make this a full-time gig if you want to. So like, subscribe, and let's get right into this. So I'll tell you right now, if you guys are thinking about getting into this, be careful with it. Don't jump all in right off the bat. I'm gonna give you all the tips of if you wanna get into it. And I would say, first off, if you have an extra car, if you're working from home now, or you're just really not quite sure and you want to make side cash with the vehicle you have, list that one first and really find out if you want to get into this. I mean, the first few cars, depending on how you're going to go about this, it's going to be remote check-in, in-person check-in, one of those two ways. But regardless, figure out how much you want to do with all this. Now, if you do the remote check-in, it's nice because you don't have to physically be there the whole time, and it works out really well. If a guest is late from an incoming flight or something happens, you're not stuck. Your time is not stuck there waiting for them to show up. I know there's ways around all this stuff. You know, you can cancel the trip, but now you have an upset renter because they weren't able to reach out while they're on a flight. You know, whatever. There's all kinds of things, but there's different ways to go about it. Like I said, you can have the remote, you can have the in-person, but know that it is going to take time. It's not 100% passive. A lot of people say it's passive. It's semi-passive. The more cars you get, the more it's a job. The more you're creating a business for yourself. And then at that time, and then along with that, you also have to be able to figure out who's gonna run your cars when you wanna go on vacation or you want a weekend off. Because I will tell you, majority of the renters are coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You know, I mean, they're in that 4-day window. So your vacation time may change up. You may be taking, you know, days off on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday. You hit that, Wednesday's the key time because there's not a whole lot going on Wednesday. So definitely figure out just one car, whatever you have around. Don't go out. I'm not a huge fan. Do not over leverage yourself ever. If you want to buy a house in the next couple years, you know, when the market corrects, you don't want all these auto loans under your name, right? You don't want 7 Mercedes or basically all these high-end cars. You don't want these loans, these notes under your name. So don't over leverage yourself. Now, the next thing is when you guys are getting into this, figure out which market you want to be in. I get it. You're in a market. Okay, so you're in California or you're in Texas or you're in Florida. I get it. You're in that market. But figure out which, I guess, niche, which niche or niche you guys want to be in. Do you want to be in the luxury class? Do you want to be in the SUV class? Do you want to be in the shooter class? Shooters are basically those cash cars that the profitability isn't as high, but it can do very well for you. Or do you want a mixture of all these cars? Figure out what you want to do with it. before you jump all in. The last thing I want you guys to do is go out and buy all these cars and basically realize, you know what, I don't even want to deal with this class of clientele. I don't want to deal with that class of clientele. Like this, it's not what I expected. And now you're stuck with all these loans. So that goes back to the first thing, and make sure you try it out first. But regardless, figure out which side you want to be at. Or do you want somebody that just rents all your commuter cars, your shooters, and you get to drive the luxury car and they're paying for it? Like, figure out which way you want to go. That's the best way to do it. You can dabble in a few things here and there. Figure out basically what you want to be associated with. All right, so the next part of this is once you do get into this, you're going to start seeing money. You're going to start seeing good money, right? You're going to get all excited and you're going to get amped up and say, man, this single car brought me in $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Like, this is what it brought in for a month. Let's go get 5 of these cars. Now just hold your horses for a second. Don't go all in, don't go ham. Like, really learn the process of this all. Because I guarantee you that first month, and it does happen, everything goes super smooth and you're like, man, I could really do this. I could really make this happen and not have an issue whatsoever. So then at that point you're like, okay, I'm gonna go buy 4 more cars and let's really do this. I can make this a side hustle. Well, you can do that, but it definitely takes a little skill, a little finesse. You gotta really work on your availability and basically where you're gonna park these cars, all this stuff. Everything plays into it. How you're going to maintain them, how you're gonna clean them, move them, whatever you're gonna do. If you're gonna deliver, how you're gonna get back. All this stuff plays into it. So really just figure out, like, jump into it. And if you're able to, stack that cash. If this is a side gig, definitely stack that cash. Now this will help out to either buy cash cars or to help out for down payments in the future. Like, stack that cash. Or depending on which plan you're on, it'll also cover the the deductible, any of that stuff that may pop up. Stack that cash. Don't get overexcited. Just figure out what needs to happen. Because I guarantee if something didn't happen in the first month, it's going to happen in the near future. So just be cautious with that. Now, I don't want to get you guys to completely shut it down and not go after what you're trying to get accomplished, but definitely just figure it out, work slow with it. And I'll tell you, even Turo, if you look at their screen, it says, don't grow too quickly. This is the biggest problem with new hosts. The biggest, most well-known is you start growing way too quick and now you're stuck. You're stuck with all these cars. You don't want to do it. So just kind of grow slow. But definitely go after it. I want you guys fired up. I want you guys going after it. Now, the absolute biggest thing that I can tell you guys, hands down, this is the biggest thing to think about when you are doing these cars. It's a car that you absolutely love. It's your dream car. Like, this is it. This is the car. This is the McLaren that I wanted, right? Now you have it on the platform and it's your baby. Like, you're out there, it's your Sunday driver. You're out there washing and waxing all week. Do not put this car on there. Do not. Your baby. Even if it's your Honda Civic, your Toyota Corolla, right? My Civic was my commuter. That thing did very well for me. I was attached to it while it was mine, while I was driving it. And then when I put it on the platform, that's when I just basically washed my hands of it and said, look, now it's an asset. I'm not worried about this car. I don't care if it comes back, somebody smoked in it, if somebody stains the seats or carpets, you're not really gonna, you can stain the seats with the deodorant on my leather. I hate it when that happens. But you look at it, you're not worried about it. I'm not physically, I'm not emotionally, I'm not attached to this car. This is the biggest thing. Do not get attached to these cars because it's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Somebody's not going to treat the car the way you wanted it treated. There are going to be accidents. They're going to curb rash the wheels, all this stuff. Matter of when, not if. So know this going in. So these are the key points that you need to know when you're getting into renting out your car. Don't get attached. Buy what you can maintain and afford. Don't go over leverage yourself, and figure out which niche you want to be in. That's basically it. And then once you do it, jump in. Have fun with it. You'll enjoy it. You'll get to drive a lot of cool fancy cars at some point, but just have fun with it. So hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit. Definitely like, subscribe, do all that stuff down below. We will catch you guys on the next one, and let me know what are some things that I missed. What are things that you guys noticed as you got into this? Let me know. I'm curious. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Later, y'all.